Joining me now from Orlando, Florida, President and Chief Communications Officer of the Job Creators Network Foundation, Elaine Parker. Elaine, we just got word off the wires today, if you will, that jobs are coming back. And that's a good thing, right? I mean, we have some positive news on the job numbers. We all want this to, well, I can't say we all. I think there's a governor in California and in New York and in Illinois who don't want this to happen. Be that as it may, the jobs are coming back. But we both know that 2/3 of all job creation is done by small businesses. And so now we see California and Arizona and Texas, I don't know, Florida could be following, certainly in some of the municipalities like Miami, where they're tightening up again. They're closing people down, they're restricting rights, and they're shutting down businesses in the process. This is not how you have an economic recovery, is it?
No, it's not, and it's a shame. But as you mentioned, we did get some good news today with ADP announcing private jobs created, 2.37 million jobs. And with tomorrow, the Department of Labor issuing the June numbers, we certainly have reason to be optimistic to see another good number. And that really has to do with, us starting to open up the economy and getting people back to work. And we like to say, what we've been saying at Job Creators Network is that we've flattened the curve, and now we need to flatten the fear and get people back to work and get people back engaging in society. And because the societal cost of the last 3 months of shutdown goes far beyond the economy. It's not a life versus economy issue. It is a life versus life. I mean, we've seen some pretty extreme consequences, just starting with our children not being in school. So we need to get people back to work and get the economy up and running and functioning normally again.
This is a textbook example, I think, of how to destroy an economy. I think the Soviet Union did a similar number on its economy when it was being taken over by the Marxist socialists, if you will. California, for example, they've reopened their restaurants, but you walk into a restaurant in California, it's not the same. They must be hitting on maybe half the cylinders they should be hitting on there. The tables are spread apart. They're not going to be able to survive this way. And now they're closing down bars in California, and the governor is going to impose even more shutdowns. Why not just allow the people, the free market, to police itself? I think that this scare factor that you hit on is crucial. People are scared to death, not because this virus is killing people. They're scared to death because the media and the politicians are working hand in glove to met out disinformation.
You just hit the magic point, because the media has been extremely successful in scaring the dickens out of this public as these governors have started to reopen their states. And let me just put some of the numbers into perspective for your audience. There are 0 deaths, 0 COVID deaths in 40% of the counties across the entire country. And 42% of all deaths have occurred in nursing homes and assisted living facilities. 80% of the COVID deaths are people 65 and over with at least one underlying health condition. And finally, only 7% of the deaths are attributed to people under the age of 55. So we need to wash our hands. We need to social distance. And when we can't social distance, we should wear a mask. We can protect the vulnerable without isolating the many. And that's what we need to do, because this economy needs to get going. We know a lot more than we knew 3 months ago. And it absolutely, all of the facts and all of the data tells us that we do not need to shut down again. And if we're going to see some hot spots around the country, maybe there's some pauses that need to happen. But we don't need to take an entire state and shut it down because a hotspot's happening in one city.
And a payroll tax cut, which I know you advocate, we need it. I think we always need it. But we certainly need it now because of the recession/depression that's been created by the government response to the Wuhan coronavirus. But in order for a payroll tax cut to really work, you've got to have people working. And so this is where this becomes a vicious circle, and government needs, in the end, government needs to get the hell out of the way and allow people to handle this as, well, I would say, Americans. Elaine, thank you.